Hi guys, Ryu here. Let's fix this top part now, shall we? So what I'm thinking in here, right, is to add a bit of more of an interest in here, okay? So we're going to cut this top part first. So let's grab a cube and move it in here. And we're gonna cut it somewhere here, like this. And let's grab this cube and chamfer it, like that. And you know what, actually, what we're gonna do? To maintain the angle, do we want to maintain the angle? Nah, let's break the angle. So let's move it in. So GX, and let's move it somewhere here. And now we're gonna select this one and Control slash. And then we're going to apply the boolean. So we need to move it above all these modifiers, and we need to remove this object data and this one too. So just grab it on top and apply it. And now we're going to move origin to geo, and we're gonna scale this, but on every axis except for X. So Z and Y. And it's going to go a little bit haywire. So as Shift X, something like this, okay? But now what we need to do, we need to align this because it got a little bit out of hand, right? GX and extrude it, right? And let's grab this cube again. And where is this slice? Here. And let's simply select this part and Control slash. And what this will do is will actually bring the angle back. So that's the easiest way to do it in vanilla, I think. So let's see now. GX and move it. Whoa, we need to apply the boolean. Where is it? Here. GX and move it. Yeah, see, now it's perfectly aligned. So that's what we wanted. And we want to extend it on this side, okay? So B, make sure everything is selected. GX and extend it to, you know, somewhere here. And what we're gonna do is basically apply, let's just turn it off. Come on, there we go. Apply, there is a double vert in here. Let's remove this. Chamfer, but we need to do it from the side, so let's see. Wait a minute, it's going too deep, right? There we go. Okay, perfect. Is it what I want? You know what? Let's not do it yet. Let's not do it yet. Let's do it later. So let's move this cutter to cutters. Nice. And now this one's gonna be larger, so I'm going to actually make it larger and extend it outside here. And we're gonna work on it later. Okay, so this should do for now, but before we actually move on, let's grab another cube and let's move it in here and let's scale it to something small or smaller, and a little bit smaller still. Shift X, because I wanted to scale on Z and Y but not on other axes. GY and move it in here and Control slash. And now I want to slash it, but not too deep. So you need to look in here if you're not too deep, okay? So let's actually move it a little bit deeper. So GY and move it a bit deeper, and that's fine, okay? So now we are good. And what we want to do is slash this cutter with another cutter so it actually fits the angle. So let's see. You know what? No. Let's apply the scale. Now let's do something outrageous. Let's actually round it up. There we go. That's better. Okay, perfect. So let's move it to cutters, right? Now let's grab this one and make sure that we're gonna apply the boolean. Okay. And the same with this one. Let's make sure that we apply the boolean. Perfect. And now we're gonna cut more cuts in it. So circle, not circle, sorry. Let's actually drop a cursor in here, and in fact move this origin point to geo. Whoa, hang on a second, that's fascinating. Why is he doing that? Huh. Interesting. Wait a minute, is this a separate object? Ah, something's not applied here yet. Right, the data. I thought it applied it, but I didn't because the data was blocking me from doing it. There we go. So now we should be fine. Shift S, and there we go. So let's move cursor to selected, and let's grab a cylinder. And you know what? I would say 30 is fine. You know, we don't need that very accurate because they're gonna be tiny. So RX 90 to rotate it on 90 degrees, and drop it somewhere here, and GX, and move it in here, and then we're gonna array this. So Alt A, apply scale. So Control A, apply scale, and then go to array, and let's just, you know, offset it a little bit, and then you can simply use your mouse to slide it to add some points here. Don't know if these are not too big. You know, let's make them smaller. Let's make them smaller like this, and then increase the distance between them. This will do, actually, this will do. And simply Control minus. And you know, I don't want it to go all the way in. Actually, do I? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I do. Something like this is fine. So don't make it go through this mesh, okay? See what I mean? So it just goes in the mesh, but not through the mesh. So let's apply this here. Apply the boolean. And let's grab this. We got some flip faces, but it's not a problem. Simply Shift N and recalculate outside. Didn't work. Fascinating. Select this one. And then let's see. Shift G, select coplanar. Okay then. Fine. Let's select, turn this off. Oh, it did slosh in through. Wait a minute, what the hell happened here? That's not what I intended. Let's go back. Wait, is this a mirror? Oh, it's a mirror. Turn off this bloody mirror. That's what's happening. The mirror was just getting warm up. The mirror is actually from the old mesh, from this one. That's what's happening. Good. Yeah, we don't want that. We want to flip it differently, so just remove it for the time being. We don't need it. Let's move this to cutters because reasons. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab piece of this geo here. So start here, Control click, and Control click, right? Then Shift D and P to separate object, and let me see. Right, now we need to solidify this, I think. So let's apply the bloody mirror because it's confusing, and let's actually apply solidify, and let's move this solidify above, and let's make it thicker on the outside. Let me see. You know what? Change of plans. Turn this off. Let's move this up. G, Z, and move this up. And we're going to go to X-ray mode and select these, and GX, and move them in here, right? And now let's grab these ones, the bottom ones, okay? So these four at the bottom, and actually extrude them down. So easy and extrude them down, okay? And now we're gonna grab solidify, okay? Let's see if it's gonna be better. So move it above and make it thicker on the outside. There you go, that's better. Okay, so this needs to be lower. So G, Z, and move it lower here. Okay, and this should sit on it more or less. So GZ and sit it down more or less on this shape. Perfect. And now we need to adjust it accordingly. So G, X, and move it somewhere here. Maybe. Or somewhere here. And we need to use the same... Actually, we don't. We can just, you know, simply cut it. So we could use the same cylinder, to be honest. But it's easy to create a new one. I mean, it doesn't matter really. So just shade it smooth and auto smooth, and RX90, and reduce the size. So scale it, move it in here, GY, and we need to move it more or less on top of these, you know, these little things. And let's scale this on X, move it out like this, and select this face in the middle here, and let me see that. There we go. Insert it and extrude it, and then all we need to do is simply scale these two. I mean, chamfer it, but before we do that, scale it, select these two, and chamfer them. Alright. And leave it for the time being. I mean, we could actually add this thing in the middle. So select all these and press I for insert, and then I to insert like this, and then E, cancel, is right mouse button, Alt S, and move it outwards. Then switch to individual origins and scale it like this, okay? Don't know if it's not too big. No, it's okay. It's fine. So that's as far as we're gonna go, but you see what's coming, right? There's gonna be kind of like a laser triangulation device in here. Now this is a little bit buggered, but we're gonna fix this. Even thickness could help, but it didn't. So we're just gonna slice it, you know, like this here too, with a cube or something. And I don't even know if I'm gonna stick with this design or I'm gonna create something different, maybe something a bit more interesting. Do you know what? I don't like this. We can keep this one, but I don't like this one, okay? We're gonna do it differently. Let's grab a cube. Okay. And we're gonna do it differently. I don't like the shape of it. So let's grab a cube and let's scale it. And let's actually move it to the middle of it. So move it to the middle, GX, and move it in here, and SY to scale it on Y, and move it up here, okay? Somewhere here. And then we can actually bevel this like this, okay? Right, now we're gonna scale it on Y a little bit more, and apply auto smooth and smooth, and we definitely need to move it lower like this here. Now let's actually grab another cube. So cube, and let's chamfer this cube here like this. Let's make it smaller because it's gigantic, and let's move it in here. And let's see now. So let's make it bigger. Change my mind. Well, this could work. Maybe something like this. Then grab this bottom face and move it up together with this one. So G, X, GZ and up. This doesn't do really what I wanted to do, so let's make it a little bit more shallow. Maybe like this. There we go. Okay, that's good. So let's slice it, shall we? So this one, and control minus. And this is a little bit too deep, so maybe just a little bit higher here. And also shift D and slice this because it's too big. There we go. And let's see, this one could be a little bit closer to this bit here. There we go. Perfect. Nice. Now all we need to do is actually round these two edges like this. And before we do that, we need to apply scale. There we go. Did it work? Perfectly. It's a little bit too round. A little bit less round. There we go. Okay, now that is better. Now we do need this shape, unfortunately, to cut it out. So Shift D and select these two and bring them into local. And what we're gonna do is move this one further in here and extrude it like this. So G, Z and move it down. We need to remove the bevel, apply the mirror, remove the bevel and weighted normals, and simply slice it like that, okay? And this part, let's just apply everything, and we're just gonna Control L and X and vertices, delete vertices. There you go. And this should help us to solve this problem. And now we're gonna scale it a little bit. It's gonna kind of ride on top of this, you see. So there's an opening, and we're gonna apply bevel, and everything's gonna be peachy. So apply bevel at the angle, segments 3, and turn off this clamping. This clamping is driving me mad. And apply weighted normals because havoc. And let's see, it cannot be too big, right? So just a bit of a bevel, something like this will do. We're getting this one here, face pulling, and this is caused by the bevels. Okay, so the bevel is simply too thick, unfortunately. So we need to make it smaller. So let's make it 0.002 and C, and that's better. You're simply overshooting itself, the bevel, right? And now it's good. Now it's good. I kind of like it. Maybe it's a little bit too wide. Something like this could work. G, Y, and move it outside. And there you go. We can mirror this later on. So now what we're gonna do is actually create. We have an opening here for like a mounting of some sort, and I think this is still too, too shallow. So GZ and move it a little bit up. There we go. Now let's grab a cylinder, but make it 50, or maybe yeah 50 is fine. Let's make it really thick. Dense. That's what I mean. Same thing, really, just like in real life. So let's flip it by 90 degrees, scale it down, and auto smooth and shade smooth. Make it smaller, and as X, not too big, don't go too crazy, and just drop it in there. It's a little bit too small, so make it a little bit bigger, and we can play with it later. But basically what I'm after here is some kind of like I said, I don't know, laser device, measuring device. Shift X here to scale on every single axis except X. Same here, scale. Actually just S is fine. Actually no, Shift X will do. There you go. We can refine it later, but you know what I'm going for, right? So this will do for now. just to, you know, register a shape in a total shape of this complete shape of the gun. So that's what I'm going for. Now we need some kind of we can do it in the same go in this video, so it's gonna be a quick one. We need some grooves in here, right? So let's just bring a cube and bring it in here, make it really small, bring it down here and make it narrower and make it wider, so SY, and dig a bit deeper in here, and maybe that's too close to the edge. And then we're gonna go with the Control A to apply scale, and we're going to add a ray. Of course we need to smooth it, so auto smooth and shade smooth. Let's go back to our array and let's array this like this and increase the count. That's too many. You don't have to go to the end, but you know, somewhere here maybe. Something like this will do. Select this one and Control minus. And this will do, I guess. Maybe it's a little bit too these squares are a bit too big. Let's make them smaller. Whoops, not this one, just this one. SX and scale it like this. That's better. And increase the count, okay? So yeah, that will do. I think that's better. It's a little bit more refined, if you will. And now what we need to do is a cunning trick. Select this face and SX and scale it on X-axis. Okay, so these grooves are kind of like catching inside, if you know what I mean. So select everything SX and scale it on X-axis. We can actually lower this down. The effect's going to be much more amplified. So GZ, move it down, and now if you expand this one, SX, it's going to be a bit more profound. So there we go. I think it's still too big, so SX and scale it, make it smaller, and move it a little bit higher. Yeah, we could actually go crazy and bevel these edges like this. So it's gonna be a really cool pattern on top, you see. Just a bit of interest over there. So increase the number of arrays here, I mean the number of items in array, and we can put it in cutters. That's fine. Yeah, that will do. That will do. That looks good. That looks good. Let's see how it looks with a bevel on it, shall we? So let's grab a bevel and at 3 segments and angle and turn off clamping and just add a little bit of a bevel. So tiny one. Right? So let's see. 0.0002 there, and weighted normals, and it should be fine. There we go. It's a bit of a, it's bending a bit in here, so what we could do is simply introduce some loops around, see if it's gonna help. There we go. Before you actually apply the cutter, right? So see, it kind of cleaned up the shading. Simply makes these polygons, which are huge, very long, right, shorter, and it just helps to control the shading a bit better. So there we go. So that's that, and this should be bigger, much bigger, probably something like this. And GZ, maybe riding somewhere here. SY, scale it out, and there you go. Yeah, this should be massive because the scope is massive, so it cannot be too, you know, too small. And for the time being, just for the time being, we can just simply copy these screws in here. It's okay. So, you know, one here and another one here, so it's fine. As I'm saying, this is just for the time being, okay? We will be changing them anyway, but you know, just to have like a visual anchor where things are headed. Okay, so we got the magazine, which I still think needs a bit of work, but we can do it later. We got the front, more or less, the scope, and now I want to add some cut in here as well. So I'm just gonna, last thing I'm gonna do in this video, guys, but it's gonna be a quick one. So let's actually add a scale. So shift to add a scale and grab these two edges and Control B and simply drop it down. So like this and Control minus. It's gonna add a nice interest in here and I like it. We could actually make it, you know, sort of match with the angle, but yeah, okay, we can do this. So SX, we can just scale this. Come on, SX, there we go. Let's scale it to the angle. So it more or less matches like this. This is gonna be better? I don't know. Yes, yeah, I don't think so. I think, you know, this one's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We can break this angle sometimes, it's fine. So that would be it, and I think it's a little bit too deep. So let's bring this cutter back. So just Control Z, there we go. And let's bring it back. So G, Z, and move it a little bit higher. So they should do cutters. Perfect. Okay, guys, let's save it and we can continue in the next video. And I think in the next video, we should start working on the tripod. Because as I said, in addition to this bipod, which, you know, is going to be like an emergency use, we want a tripod because this gun is massive. So we're going to mount it on a tripod actually. Okay. So that's the idea. Well, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next video.